Hi guys, this is Bill from Spencer1984.com with another update to the Vacation Family Truckster. And this week I'm going to be installing some glass. So way back in the very first video in this series, I showed a parts tree that had some window blanks on it. Okay, maybe not that long ago, but it has been a bit. So at any rate, here is that blank. And as you can see, it does fit really nice. Actually just drops right in the opening like it's supposed to. Fits nice and tight around the edges. So this is going to be a perfect template to start with. I'm going to take some painter's tape here. Take off a piece. And let's just stick it down. Make sure that it's nice and rubbed down all the way around the edge. Now, cut around as close and tight as I can. It's not going to be absolutely critical along this bottom edge, but it is pretty important to get the other three, so I'm trying to take my time, make sure I get this right. Alright. So now that we've got this, it's not my cleanest cut, but that'll work. Got to transfer it to a piece of glass. For that, I'm going to be using this out of a 1/18 scale Chevelle, because the Truckster has a really big windshield. As you can see, this just barely fits. None of the 25th scale glass that I had in my parts box even came close. So, take my tape template, transfer that here. And the nice thing with painter's tape is if you get it off center, you can just peel it off, reset it, and it's not going to do any harm. It'll pull off and replace multiple times. So that's pretty good there, so rub that down. Pretty well centered top to bottom, left to right. So now it's just a matter of removing the taped off section from the rest of the glass. There we go. And that looks pretty good. That'll work just fine. Now, my preferred method is using a Dremel for cutting glass because, as you can see, it melts as it goes through, and that gives a far less likely chance of cracking, and as you can see, it cuts pretty clean. Doing a quick test fit here. That looks good. Fits the edges just like it's supposed to. And this is the same method that I used for the back glass, because that included a template with the Truckster body as well. Hard to see here, but yeah. Now, no templates were included for the side glass, so what I did there is I just put a piece of cardboard on the inside, traced it, and then transferred that to flat glass panels. I did not use flat glass for the windshield or the rear window because they had a little bit of a curve to them, and especially with the windshield, since I don't have a cowl to support it, I wanted something that would be able to hold itself in place. So that's what you see here. And yeah, looking at the bottom of the glass, you can see that that's already got the correct shape to it right there. So that will work just fine. Now, I'm not going to install it right now because I need to make sure that I can get the interior and chassis in place, and this might be in the way. Plus, I don't want to flex the body any more than I absolutely have to, and I don't want anything else that might hinder that. But speaking of the interior, it is just about ready to go. Put the front seat in and shuffled the carpet a little bit, so got to fix that spot right there. And the reason why I'm not ready to put it in quite yet. I'm hoping it's going to be a pretty easy fix. I've had mixed results with using the embossing powder, but I'm going to be hopeful about it. So I'm going to get that fixed, add the spare tire that I showed off last week, and the interior should be ready to go in at that point. So assuming that I don't screw anything up between now and then, I should have all of the major sub-assemblies pulled together by this time next week, and we'll be putting the final details on then. So you can check back then, and thanks for watching.